Hey everyone, it's Adele and April from Just Say Scrap, and we are here with Technique Tuesday. So today we're going to be diving into some mixed media. We are super excited about it, so you're just gonna have to watch to see what we're about to do.
All right, so here we are. We have our Stickles
Glitter gels.
Glitter Gel, thank you. Stickles Glitter Gels in all of the different colors. We have our, and I can't read them because my, solar flare, I'm sorry, asteroid. We have moon dust, and we have the nebula.
Yeah, nebula.
And for our texture pastes, these are from the texture paste trio. So you get one of each in the trio of our texture paste transparent gloss, the transparent matte, and the opaque matte. So we're just gonna do, I wanted to use one of each of these, and we're just gonna mix and show you.
These only come in the tiny jars,
Right.
but the opaque matte also comes in the big one.
Yes,
So
exactly. So you could get lots of the opaque paste.
that's my favorite one. But...
Opaque matte paste. And that is great because you can make things look like snow. It's got a very nice texture to it. Beards. Santa's beard. Oh, wait. We passed that. We passed that the holiday already. So we're thinking ahead for next holiday. What you're going to need to do this is you're going to need a palette knife or something to spread the paste with. So I'm just going to be using this palette knife, and I'm just experimenting on our 3x3 white daisy, and I'm also going to be using our stencil sheets. So I'm going to use our different stencil sheets, and this is one of my favorites from pack 1. I don't know whether you could see that or not. It's a really pretty floral flower. Yeah, you might be able to see it on there because we've used it. As you can see, it gets a little discolored, but that's fine because that's what it's here for. If it was pristine, you would know it hasn't been used. So I'm just going to place, actually, I'm going to move the papers off to the side a little bit because what first step you want to do, and I'm just going to grab the asteroid stickle gel.
And also, if you're new to these, you might want to do exactly what we're doing as well, because it's really nice to have samples of these, so you can always go back to them and also reference them.
Exactly. I am going to take, actually I'm going to need 2 of the palette knives. This one I'm going to save for the spreading, and I'm going to take these 2 to take the texture paste and the glitter gels out so that we don't contaminate any of them. So first thing I'm going to use is our transparent gloss texture paste. And this is going to, when this is dry, it's going to leave a shiny finish to your project. So it's really, really pretty. This can be used by itself just to add a little something extra to your background on your pages.
So we do have these samples as well. Let me find that one specifically. What is this, the gloss?
The gloss.
Nope, that's the matte. Here it is. So you can kind of see, this is just on craft paper, but you can see how it's glossy. I hope you can see it shining in the lights. But just showing once again with a stencil.
All right. So I took a little...
And then if you want to see it with some re-inker.
With re-inker, yes.
Or this is the shimmer brush.
Mm-hmm. And that's mixed in to the texture paste. So I'm just gonna, I had a little extra, so I'm gonna just put that back into the jar so we don't waste it.
Don't waste it.
Don't waste, because this is a little jar. And I mean, it goes a really long way, but why waste it?
You'll use it fast.
Yes. Okay. And actually, since I'm just gonna use this to put on my project, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna take some of the asteroid and I'm just gonna
The asteroid, out of the stickle gels, I find is more snot-like.
This is the...
Not to be, like, weird, but it's very, very jelly.
And you may want to take a little washi tape. Well, I was going to put a little washi tape to the back.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully this will hold it. So you just want
to... Or you could take a glue dot.
Yes.
I mean, that might stick more, but.
Or some repositionable tape. I'm going to just place the stencil right on top. And so the stencil doesn't move. I am going to put some washi tape down here so that it holds it a little bit. And you're going to take your mixture, and you're going to use your palette knife, and you want to make sure that you go in one direction. You don't want to mush it back and forth, because you don't want any of it to get under your stencil.
I kind of do the opposite. I'll go back and forth, but like on this stencil I will, because it's not as intricate. This one I definitely won't. This stencil. I don't know if you can see that, but there are some stencils that are super intricate. Like this one's, I feel like you won't catch as much. You probably will. I rush everything. Mom is much more patient and slow, which is not a bad thing at all. Right. It just means she's patient with it.
So I'm just working this, and I'm just basically, I'm scraping. I mean, you actually can like glob it on a little bit.
It's pretty.
To give it more dimension. And let's see, I'm going to just pull that up.
Oh, that's so pretty.
You want to make sure that you clean off your stencil after you use it, especially when you're using like the Stickles Gel, the texture paste, because you don't want it to dry on there and become permanent. So you want to clean that as quickly as possible. But look how pretty that is. And this is going to take a little bit to dry. Oh, and April's got a stickle, or a
go on there. A
glitter.
You
I have no idea where it went. Oh well. So I'm just gonna put this aside to dry. And depending on how thick you put the paste on is how long it's gonna take to dry. And I'm just gonna scoop this extra up. You may want to have some paper towels handy for cleanup. I forgot to mention that in the beginning, but it's easy to clean off your palette knife, because you don't want that to dry either. And I'm just gonna clean this off. Also, our all-purpose mat is wonderful to work on with these medias, because it is so easy to clean. You could let this dry, and then you could just take a paper towel. It's not quite dry yet, but you could take a paper towel, and it just like, it will flake off. But it also cleans up really well when it's still a little, the texture paste and gel are a little damp. I'm gonna get my paper and glue it down a little bit, just so it doesn't move underneath the stencil like we did before. So now I'm going to use the transparent mat. We have a sample of the transparent mat. And this, I mean, this is really hard to see, but this is the transparent mat. It has, like, as it says, it's not really shiny, but you can see it when you're in person. You can see that there is some type of media on this paper. And it will also, we could also use it. This is just plain with a stencil, and I can see the design here. I'm not quite sure if the camera is picking up the design. And this is it with the re-anchor. And I believe, yep, we have here, I did it, this is mixed in with the transparent mat, and this was done with the mix in, but then I went over it again with the gold shimmer brush, so you could see how shiny it is over here.
So because this one is a little bit harder to see, I'm actually going to have Mom do the honeycombs, which is out of Stencil Pack 2, and use this instead.
Okay, sure.
I think those will be better.
Okay, perfect.
So Stencil Pack 2 has more of like the geometric shapey kind of things. I'll show you. So it's got the honeycombs underneath, then it's got this one. Let me see.
Yeah, you want to put...
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So...
got like triangles, square things.
Yes.
And then it has this one,
which is just a wider.
Bunch of different stripes and diagonals and
yes,
horizontals, vertical, whatever.
This would be great on a 12 by 12. But
They all would be, honestly.
Oh yes, they would be. But as we said before, with that one is another one where you'd have to make sure you went in one direction instead, because that one it has thicker openings, and the texture paste would tend to go underneath that a little bit more.
And some of them, before I put it away, I'm just going to show you. Some of these triangles too, like if you came this way, might do that. So you have to make sure you go with the stencil.
Exactly. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to put this on our stencil. The texture paste goes on very smoothly with the mixture. The mixture itself goes on very smoothly. So it's really nice to work with. I'm just going to lift that up. And so now that's with the solar flare and the opaque matte. Of course, this has to dry, so I'm just going to put it off to the side.
They look really cool, like in person. So we're actually making 2 samples. So we're videoing and then making a second one, just so we have samples for both of us. But as Mom's doing this, I just wanted to say with this transparent matte, you can just, it's catching the glitter more in the Stickles Glitter Gel. So when I first introduced the Stickles Glitter Gel about a month or so ago, this just catches the actual glitter that's in it and kind of has it like stuck in it, you know what I mean? So if you have like a keychain or anything like that that's kind of transparent, but it's not, it has like sparkle in it before you see through it, that's kind of what this is looking like. So I feel like if we put this onto acetate or something like that, it would kind of have that look to it. That's the texture that it has. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Am I making any sense? Not too great.
Well, whatever.
But it just has like more of a, it would be a foggy glass look.
Yes.
Like it's a foggy glass that just has the sparkle kind of suspended in it. I guess that's kind of more of what I'm trying to say.
Definitely. Whereas the gloss looks more like a glassy, shiny, obviously. Next, we're going to be using our Moon Dust Stickle Glitter Gel. And this is just, it's so pretty. It's so glittery. It doesn't have like the stars or the circles, the larger pieces of glitter, I guess you could call it, but it has tiny little ones. So it's just really, really very pretty. So with this, I'm going to be using this stencil, also from Pack 1. And this design is just absolutely gorgeous. I love this. I've seen so much artwork used with this, and it's just amazing. Stencil, I was going to say it's probably one of my favorites. So let me see. Whoops. And if you saw the paper lift, that was because this is very intricate and has these little pieces, and I was moving the stencil on the paper and it just lifted the paper up. So
did you show the last stencil in that one? So this one's the flower, this one, and then it's got these hearts.
Yes, all the different kind of hearts. They're really cute. And you could actually use that. You don't need to use it as with like the texture paste or the stickle gels. You could use it anything. You could outline them and color them in. It's so cute.
Do that. You could use ink. You could do whatever you want. So this time around, Mom's going to be using the Opaque matte, and we did it on black, so you can kind of see that it actually is really white, and it's not completely see-through like the transparents. This is mixing it just with a re-inker. Whoops, I skipped one. This is it lone on, or kind of ombre affected. So we kind of just did it like that, and then you can kind of see we just had a few others designs. Mom colored it with some shimmer brushes. This is just the matte, just kind of by itself. And then what she did here was she did different textures. So we actually have them written on the back. So this is opaque textures through a stencil, and this is what we're doing.
Right, and this was done with a thick layer.
Then this is where she did the same thing to the stencil, and then she pulled it.
Right, I took my stencil and I just like not stencil, my knife, and I just like pulled up the little pieces.
I think we do have actually a Technique Tuesday on that. And then this is heat set. So you can kind of see it's bumpy.
It's bubbly, yes.
And then this is with re-inker. And then that's with the shimmer paste mixed into it. And then the shimmer brush, excuse me, mixed into it. And then the shimmer brush on top of it after.
So there are a bunch of things you could do with that.
This is why this one's my favorite. And I think why it comes in the big bottle.
Yes. I am going to have to use a little bit more because of the texture paste is much thicker than the other two mediums that we used before.
That's so cool.
Can you hold this for just 1 minute so I can try and lift it up? Here we go.
This one has a much more intricate design, so you want to be careful.
It does, and it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I don't know whether you could see the sparkle in that, but it is just awesome. Awesome. Okay, so for our final demonstration, we're just going to show you using from our stencil pack number 3. We're going to use these triangles.
So for this pack, it has a sunburst. Just want to show you the different stencils in it. So you got a sunburst. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can. And then you have dots that are, that's a better idea. You have ascending, descending dots as well.
And give me that starburst one more time, just so, yeah, you might be able to see that a little better.
And then the one we're going to be using has 9 different ones on it.
Right. And you could keep it together like we did, or we know some people that cut them into 9 different little squares and use them separately. So depends on what you want.
But we're using this one specifically because as you can see on it, be careful with those.
Yes.
As you can see on it, there is some leftover spray or gloss sprays. We have yet to touch on those yet, but they are coming, we promise. So we just kind of wanted to show you that there's so many different things that you can do with different mixed media products, and you can use them all with the same stencil. And even if they do get some kind of blemish or something on them, like this stencil did, it's not going to rub off when you do your next project. Right.
The reason why this did not clean off is the gloss sprays are permanent. They're like a plastic. So even
Which we'll
though
talk about more.
So even though we tried to clean this up right away, there was still some residue.
So for texture paste, you can wear an apron or something like that. You don't have to. Texture paste will come out of clothes more easily. It wipes off of the stencil super easily. But when we do get more into our distress oxides and our gloss sprays, you're going to want to wear an apron. Just know that your nails will probably get dyed, things like that. So just we wanted to let you be aware. But these kind of things, you don't really need to wear an apron or anything.
Right, exactly. So for our last project, we are going to be using the nebula. The nebula is basically, it looks very similar to the moon dust, except it has these beautiful gold stars in them.
It's a solar flare and moon dust combination.
So it's really very pretty, very sparkly, if you could see that. And we're going to be doing this with our opaque mat.
You can see them better from the bottom.
Yes. You are absolutely right. I just wanted to say, you might have seen me cleaning off the mat with our spritzer. That's because the opaque mat takes a little bit longer to dry. So when I tried to wipe it off, it just like spread. And since it's thicker, it needed a little help so I could do it quicker. So I just spritzed it with water and it cleaned right off.
So the little covering that is on top here, that we have on there because you want to keep it on because it will make it less dry, I guess you can say. Right. It also kind of protects it. It protects the top of the cap, but we do keep it on there because it seals it tighter. So it's less likely to dry out. so pretty.
I want to just show you that.
The one star on the edge is trying to fly away.
Wee, get back in there. Now it's going to be just popped up.
All right, so there you have it. You have all 4 of our Stickle Glitter Gels along with our 3 different texture pastes. And just so we can kind of point it out to you again, this one is the transparent gloss. That's that one. This one here is these 2 in the middle actually are the opaque texture matte. And then the transparent matte is the one that's over here.
And you can also see that this is starting to change since it's drying, because when we first did it, you couldn't really see the glitter in there, but now the glitter is starting to show up. And it will pop up even more once it's fully dry. It does take a while for these texture pastes to dry, so you want to make sure you set them aside in a place that will not be disturbed.
Yes, and you can see I did clean this one off now, and even though there's still this cheddar spray on here, it did not come off at all onto our project. So we just kind of wanted to show you this. We hope you liked this. We have tons more mixed media coming your way, but for now I think this is a pretty good start.
I do. I love them.
They're
I
just
love
so
the way
pretty.
they look.
So make your own samples too, that way you can kind of see what you want to do, and it's also nice to just kind of have something to flip through, kind of like what we had before, those samples we were showing you. And just to show you, these are some things that you have to look forward to coming up. So we've got a lot of fun things happening with a bunch of these. So, all right. That's Technique Tuesday. And that's Technique Tuesday. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please let us know. So the Stickles Glitter Gel are just so much fun to play with. I mean, we've showed them to you in the past. If you've been joining any of our virtual weekends or anything like that, we've used them. They're just so much fun. They really can be used with anything, really. And now you can see them with our texture pastes, which is really fun. So we hope that you're enjoying our mixed media, because we will be bringing a lot more to you, because Close to My Heart has been doing a lot with them. So we were really excited about that. But this is just kind of putting our toes now into the pond, and then we're gonna dive. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll dive slowly, so you guys can catch up with us.
Definitely.
But the reason we haven't really gotten into anything else yet is because of everything and just shipping being a little bit delayed. We just kind of want to wait until things are in case you want to play. Then you can actually go buy the product. So for now, we have our Stickles Glitter Gels and our Opaque Texture Matte, our Transparent Gloss, and our Transparent Matte as well. So go have fun with those. You could probably do the exact same thing with some Stickles. Stickles is a little bit more watery, so just be aware of that. The gel has that more jelly feeling to it, and it's thicker, so it will mix a little bit better. But go have some fun and
Experiment
play.
and have fun.
Yep, exactly. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
A little dark.
It's a little dark.
I didn't even hit you. You hit me.
What are you doing? I can't see.
And that's Technique Tuesday. I'm eating my hair.
Protein.
Ew. Like when you kind of see something, I'm trying to think what are those things called. Or this. We just did it on, this is charcoal, black. I don't know what this is. Black.
And now we're going to do number 2. Second. I know. We're going to do number 2.
We're going to do number 2. Mom's doing number 2.
Oh my gosh. What is it's a solar flare and moon dust. Really?
It's got the gold stars.
Oh, solar flare. Right. Sorry.
Great part.
I guess so. I was like, what?
What were you going to say?
And
our Opaque. Opaque.
Okay.
So for now we have our
Sorry.